I plan on accomplishing my goal for this Saturday night, which is to be and become the WBO world champion. Thank you very much.
The pride of Las Vegas, welterweight champion Jesse Vargas delivered the best performance of his career, claiming his second world title. He's here in Studio A, and Washington Full Circle starts right now. And welcome to Washington Full Circle. I'm Furman Patterson. Following welterweight boxing champ Jesse Vargas' victory here in D.C., ring editor Michael Rosenthal commented that Vargas, quote, had always been a spirited fighter, but not this fierce. Suddenly, Vargas is a puncher, a ferocious, supremely confident puncher. I like this Jesse Vargas. And apparently Jesse Vargas likes D.C.
I love D.C.
Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure coming back, especially after our people from D.C. have treated us so well, especially in our last outing out here.
Yeah.
And we're very excited to be here.
That was a big turnout at the D.C. Armory.
It was a great turnout, and I'm very happy. You know, we got very positive feedback, and everybody seemed to be happy with our performance. As you just said, you know, I'm thankful.
Now, for this fight, there were some changes. You had a different trainer this time around. Tell us all about that. How that came about.
That's right. Well, at the end of 2015, you know, my father and I sat down and we were analyzing what we needed to change into for this next camp coming in, because we were at a crucial time in our career, and we came to an end that we said, you know what, we need a trainer that knows us, you know, in every aspect, you know, knows what we're capable of, knows that, you know, in one round he can send us out to outbox our opponent. What I mean by that is just to outsmart him, and in the next round say, you know what, let's change it up. And I know Jesse can do it, so let's have him, send him in to fight in the inside, and basically just have a trainer that knows us very well, you know, and that's what we did in Dewey Cooper.
Yeah.
We brought in, an athlete can only perform at the highest level if he has a top trainer to take him there. You know, and thankfully I have that now in Dewey Cooper. I have a great team, and I'm very happy. I feel blessed.
Yeah. How did you feel that night with the new trainer and what you had learned from him?
Well, I've been knowing this trainer, Dewey Cooper, since I was 8 years old.
Wow.
He's a world champion himself. And actually what's funny about the story is that I was 8 years old boxing, right, in the amateur programs, and he loved the way I'd fight. So I'd spar in the ring, and he'd just laugh and say, dang, Jesse, you got moves, man. And then he'd tip me. Just, hey, man, here, 20 bucks, 40 bucks. Every now and then, give me some Black Cobra shirts. That's what he was nicknamed by, Black Cobra at that time. And so I've known him ever since. So he knows what I'm capable of. So once we got together, you know, it was a perfect connection.
So 8 years old, I'm always curious about why did you go into that gym or that ring for the first time? I know after you got there you said, oh, this is money, this is whatever, but what led you to it?
Well, my father's the one that gave me the idea of an after-school program, right? And he did it just so that I could stay, put my time into an after-school activity, you know, just to have productive programs, you know, involved in my life. And that's when he introduced me into karate, taekwondo, which is basically the same, soccer. And I said, you know, it's not for me. You know, there's too much running in soccer, karate, they hit me with the sticks when they need to correct me. And then boxing. Boxing was it. You know, I was just fascinated by one-on-one combat. Once you're inside that ring, there's no way out until that final bell rings. You know, and having been able to outsmart your opponent inside the ring. You have to outwork him, outthink him, kind of be a step ahead of him, and that's what happened in this Saddam Ali fight. And tell you what, Dewey Cooper, going back to my trainer, he brought me back to those days when I was feeling like a kid, when I was doing it for fun, just for the fun of it. In camp, he would tell me, come on, Jesse, when he'd see me tired, remember when you were 10 years old, you were in there with your dad, you know, having fun. You're doing this because you love doing it. And all of a sudden, it changed my mood. You know, it's just a trainer that knows me personally, and he's a great trainer. You mentioned something earlier. You said that after your fight, it seemed like everybody left the armory. Tell us about that. Well, you know, from the fans there, we hear that a lot of them took off after the fight. I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just telling what I heard. But you know, I guess it was just a fight that was there was so much anticipation behind it. They were waiting for it. I mean, it was two fighters that everyone knew that they always come to give a great fight. Saddam Ali and myself, and which we did.
Yeah.
You know, we left it all in the ring, and I'm glad that we had a great outcome. I'm glad that the fans enjoyed the fight. At the end of the day, as a performer, you know, as a professional boxer, that's our ultimate goal, is to give the fans a great fight.
Now, we know in D.C. we have some great boxing fans, like you say, but how do we stack up against the fans elsewhere? I know you've fought all over. All
over, yes, but I mean, it's equivalent to Las Vegas, I would have to say. I mean, I'm from Las Vegas, you know, and we had a great outing. The fans there were able to cheer us on, and it was 50-50, you know. Ali had some people on his side, Vargas team on the other, and you can just tell the vibe in the DC Armory was intense. Ask anyone that was there that night, March 5th, and they would tell you that night was electrifying.
Now, you mentioned Las Vegas. Where does that term, who coined it, Pride of Las Vegas?
You know, just fans there, you know, locally. I'm involved with the youth there in Las Vegas. I try to stay involved with my community, you know, and help in any way possible. I mostly dedicate my time to helping out the youth programs in different areas of Las Vegas. Spring Mountain Youth Camp being one of them. Clark County, I'm very much associated with Clark County in every aspect, you know, any opportunity we can get. And you just got some recognition for that. We want to talk about that in just a minute. More with world welterweight champion Jesse Vargas when Washington Full Circle returns. Don't go away. And welcome back to Washington Full Circle. When you start hearing that big names like Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya are showing up at fight promotion events in D.C., it could be an indication that boxing is becoming a major draw here. Another big name in the news lately is world welterweight boxing champ Jesse Vargas, here with us today. So in the segment before, we were talking about being recognized for reaching out or giving back to youth. Tell us about that in Las Vegas. Well, I think that, you know, it was always a dream of mine, not only to become a champion inside the ring, but a champion outside of the ring. And what I mean by that is being a positive role model, you know, doing any positive things that we could do with our community, you know, and thankfully I'm doing just that, you know, and I'm only getting better at it. I'm 26 years old, so I'm very young myself, and right now what I'm able to do is show a lot of our youngsters, you know, the future of tomorrow, how I became successful, and maybe they can look at my story and use that to their benefit. You know, use it as an example, and into wherever it is that they want to accomplish. It doesn't have to be a boxer. It could be a doctor, a lawyer. I tell them first thing they have to do is stay in school, which is the most important part. And that must be important to the city of Las Vegas because they recently recognized you for your involvement with that. That's right. You know, I'm very thankful for them to acknowledge me and acknowledge the work that I'm doing with the youth. It's not the reason I did it, you know, I mean, I've been doing this for years and no one has known, you know, but to finally be able to be recognized for it by the Clark County, it means a lot to me. Now, you've said that your parents didn't start out with a lot, but then they became successful, that you're very family-oriented, but tell us what you meant about that. Well, my family came here from Mexico in the 80s. And I was born in Los Angeles, California. You know, they were out here looking for the American dream, and you know, pushing forward. You know, they're living it now. You know, I was raised here in the United States, raised in Las Vegas, and I'm proud for who I am, what I've accomplished, and it's family support that has led me here. You know, them believing in me, them investing in me, because they have invested, you know, not only their love and compassion as parents, but they've supported me throughout my entire amateur career. I mean, in the beginning they did it just because I loved it, but as soon as I started boxing, I knew I wanted to become world champion, and then I said I will become world champion in a matter of months, you know, and I never left my eye off the prize.
Yeah.
And now look at it. This is my second world championship here.
Yeah, we've been ignoring this thing here, but
Yeah.
but it's glorious. Tell us what that's about.
Thank you. This is my second world championship. This is the WBO welterweight world title, and it's just such a pride to have it around with me. You know, I actually sleep with it at night. No, I'm joking, but it's you know, it's a dream come true. You know, me sitting here, I saw myself in this position when I was 8 years old. I said, that's what I want, and I'll do whatever I have to do to accomplish it. And, you know, I have. It's just whatever we set our mind to. I'm sure it wasn't easy being in your position as well.
Right. Nothing compared to this. But tell us, how did your parents feel about it? This is your second one.
This is my second world title.
How did your parents feel about the first one?
The first one, oh, it was just a night of glory. You know, I think that it was a dream come true for them as well.
Yeah. And
this one here means so much, but so much more because of the performance behind it, because of the glory behind it. You know, it means so much more when the fans are proud of you. They've enjoyed your performance. They said, "Wow, Jesse!" It's the wow factor. You know what I mean? And we got that from our fans in this fight. And not only that, but it was live on HBO, at the DC Armory. Everyone loved it. And when everyone loved your performance, what else can you ask for?
Now, there was a fight that you didn't quite love. It was a controversial one. Tell us about that controversial fight and what you did after. I think there was maybe a appeal involved with that.
That's
Tell
right.
us about that.
The fight was against Timothy Bradley in June of 2015. You know, it was a tough fight. It was a fight that he was up on the scorecards. But as a fighter, when you know that you're down on the scorecards, well, you know that you have that one punch power where you look for it. And in the 12th round, that one punch came in with 20-some seconds remaining in the fight. And, well, I landed that big right. I staggered him. He was wobbling all over the place. And I just followed up with a couple combinations, you know, still hurting him, still tagging him with some good punches. And the referee stops the fight, waves it off. Now, the referee will only wave it off when the fight is over because he is calling it to protect the other fighter. That's what I was under the conclusion of that.
Yeah.
Not under the conclusion, but I mean everyone in the stadium actually, they were just going crazy. Yeah.
I was about to ask, how did the crowd react to this?
They all went crazy. You know, we won, we're winning. They stopped the fight because he was hurt. I'm up on one of the corners celebrating. A few minutes later, I hear that the referee is saying, "You know what? I thought I heard the bell ring." You know, and it was 8 seconds remaining.
Oops.
Oops, exactly. And what a mistake to make, you know, in a world championship fight. To make that mistake was just very unprofessional. So the decision, it was gone to the decision. They give the decision to Timothy Bradley. And, well, I come out with the first loss on my record, which I appealed afterwards. And I spoke to the California Athletic Commission. But unfortunately, they didn't want to hear my case. You know, officially, we have never ended our 12th round. So we have unfinished business. You know, if you go into the regulations, every championship fight is 12 rounds, 3 minutes a round, 1 minute rest. We didn't finish our 12th round, you know, because of the referee's mistake.
That sounds like boxing, unfinished business.
That's right.
Let's talk more when we return. More with the pride of Las Vegas boxing champ Jesse Vargas when Washington Full Circle returns. Don't go away. Welcome back. I'm with fighting champ from the boxing world who supports DC's fight for statehood, world welterweight champion Jesse Vargas. Now, I want to tell you, I was doing some research on you and I saw a photo and you were in something called a Sub-Zero recovery tank, which looked kind of funny. Tell us what that was.
Definitely. Well, it's cryotherapy, and it's a great way to rejuvenate your body. You know, any time that you have any type of body aches or any type of soreness right after a workout.
Yeah.
You know, or even when you're feeling a little fatigue, you know, you go inside a cryotherapy machine and right away cryo sauna, and you feel 100% much better. You know, even before a meeting, you just feel very awake and feel great.
For people who haven't seen it before, so it's sort of like a tube about 4 or 5 feet, and it's smoke and stuff coming out of it. I saw your head at the top of it.
That's right. It's basically a tank. You know, you come into a tank, and the only thing that stands out is from your neck and higher above, right? And it's freezing cold. You know, it's sub-zero temperatures, but it only lasts 3 minutes long. It's 3 minutes long. Well, if you can take it. So if you can take 3 minutes, that's the longest that you could be in there for. People do it from 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes. It's somewhat equivalent to, not so much equivalent, because the benefits are so much more than just an ice bath. You know, as us athletes, we use the ice bath a lot.
Right.
But once cryotherapy came out, you know, I was as soon as I heard about it, you know, I was the first one to sign myself in, and I became a member at Sub-Zero Recovery in Las Vegas. They also have one in San Diego, and I'm sure they have several throughout the United States. But it's a great way of for recovery.
I've got to try it out.
You have to, yes.
Now tell me, growing up, people have their idols. In the boxing world, who did you look up to? Who was your idol in boxing?
Oscar De La Hoya, Sugar Ray Leonard, Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, I can't just leave it at one. You know, it was those 3 names. And with the years that came on, you know, of course, I looked up to other fighters as well, but they're the ones that got me more involved, you know, and got me to dream big.
Yeah, and from D.C., there are some big fighters that came out of here too. And
definitely.
And Sugar Ray Leonard from the area too.
From the area,
yeah.
exactly.
So we've got some boasting power.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and boxing is only getting bigger here in D.C. So I'm sure that, you know, the young kids of today and will be have more opportunities in the sport of boxing if that's what they choose. If not, you know, I'm sure that it will be a big part of it, whether they're involved or whether they just love to watch it.
Right. Who is it that you want to fight next? I know everyone says, oh, I definitely want a showdown with this one. Who do you want to fight next?
Well, to be honest, I'd fight anyone. You know, you ask me, I look at the list and I'd say, well, I want him. You know, I want him too. You know what? I want him too. You know, I just want to fight all of them. I want to fight the top guys, the fighters that are known to be the best in the division. I'm one of them. And to give the fans a great fight, you know, that's the result that I want. But I'd say that I'd want to let my fans choose. Yeah. You know, I'd say, you tell me who you want to fight, you want me to fight, and we'll make the fight happen. Yeah. I think that's a great answer. Okay. There's so many great, you know, oppositions there in my division that there's a couple to choose from. So, fans, let us know who you want us to fight. We'll make sure that they call in and let us know. We'll relay it to you. Now, this is your second time after the fight of being back in D.C. You're in D.C. for what reason this time? This time just for pleasure. You know, I loved it the first time I came, but unfortunately I wasn't able to really go sightseeing. You know, I met some great friends, you know, Senator Strauss and several others, you know, and we're here just to enjoy our nation's capital. Yeah. You know, it's a beautiful city, and maybe even moving into other perspectives is maybe even talking about. I hear that it possibly could be considered a state soon. Yeah. Which will bring a lot of benefit. We hope. You know. We hope. Exactly. Yeah. So we're also here to talk about that and see the options for that. Yeah. And see what the people think and if they will support the cause. And you know, we like the idea of D.C. becoming a state. Yeah, and D.C. residents appreciate when people who are not residents speak out on statehood. So that's a great thing that you're doing with Senator Strauss. Just simply, Washington, D.C. has more people living in this city than they do have states in other parts of our country, right? So why not? Yeah. Now, so you said you wanted to do a little sightseeing. Have you gotten a chance to see anything of note here in the city? Not yet. We got in yesterday. Okay. So today will be the day where we're going to go sightseeing. Today, tomorrow, and the next day after that. So I'm going to have plenty of time to enjoy it. And for the time being, we're enjoying being on the set and speaking with you, and it's always a pleasure. Oh, first of all, I want to thank you for the invite. You know, it's a pleasure to be on. Oh, anytime, and you always have an open invitation to come back. Thank you. Yeah. So quickly, tell us what do you do when you're not fighting? What's your hobby or your biggest pleasure? when I'm not fighting, well, I'm always in the gym. You know, what I mean by that is I try to stay in shape, and this is my career, so I have to do my homework.
Yeah.
You know, even when there's not any test.
What kind of music do you work out to?
I work out to a little bit of everything, to be honest. You know, I like hip hop, I like techno, I like you know, so I mix it up. You know, I also listen to some mariachi. Yeah. You know, country, rock. So I mix it up. You know, and also what I do is I dedicate my time to helping out the youth. You know, I'm so much involved with youth programs out in the city that's what I do usually. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I try to do that. Terrific. And any day after that, I mean, I have a 5-year-old daughter, so I have to dedicate time to her as well. Which she is, I mean, just such a joy. You know, 5 years old, everyone knows that when they're 5, they're just, man, it's just
soak up everything.
Yeah. They're just, they're like sponges. You know, they're absorbing everything and taking everything in, and we got to make sure we teach them well.
Well, terrific. Great father, great fighter. Thanks so much for coming. Come back again soon.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for Washington Full Circle. Thanks to our guest, and thanks to you for watching. We'll see you again next time.